So I've spent a lot of time on this channel talking about Hansu Power and all of their IPF spec equipment and how it's really great for powerlifting specifically, especially on the budget that they cost. I still don't understand how their pricing works because the equipment's really cheap, but the quality is super high and the overall value that you get. And of course, they have had some issues in the past, but it seems to be they've righted the ship and a lot of people who have been ordering stuff have been getting it very quickly. And as always, are very pleased once they get the equipment to see, again, the quality they get for the pricing. But as I just stated, most of their offerings have been very powerlifting competition specific, meaning the barbells are all your thin style collars. The plates are all the calibrated plates, although I wish they would bring back their deep dish plates that I reviewed quite some time ago because those were pretty sweet. But they have started to diversify a little bit in the fact that they're now starting to come out with their own power racks, dumbbells, bumper plates, kettlebells, and much, much more. And one of the things that has caught a lot of people's eye is this bar, which is their USA bar. Now, to be honest, there's not a lot new with this compared to some of the other offerings, but there are some things that might be appealing to you. So this is very akin to their Bright Zinc Power Bar, which for my money is the best powerlifting specific barbell you can buy for the cost because it sells for like $230 or so. And then you can add on a discount, you get free shipping. It's mind blowing that that is still at that cost and that value, but they've come out with this, the 45-pound USA version. So this is still an import bar. It's not made in the USA. The shaft, the specs are all very similar. There's just really 2 or 3 unique things about it. Number one is the weight. This is 45 pounds versus the 20 kg, which is like 44.4 pounds or whatever the math converts to. So not a huge difference in that regard. Most people will brush that aside because they'll use 45-pound bars with kilo plates all the time because there's not that much of a difference. One of the key differences that you'll see right off the bat is the collars themselves. So instead of your traditional IPF style thin collars, which typically run about ½ an inch thick, which you'll see on their other barbells, this one is just under 1 inch. So just about double the size, but still overall pretty minimal. And what that's going to do is add to the weight of the bar, but also add to the buffer if you're lifting in a power rack, as most people who have tried those thin collars in a power rack can attest to. Walking out a squat is not always the most ideal. So you get a little bit more cushion for the powerlifting pushing, if you will. So that's the most noticeable thing about it. Overall, look-wise, it's still going to look and feel, for the most part, very similar. I say that because you still get that longer center knurl at just about 6¼ inches. You get that very good, what I would say, above average aggressive knurling. So this is like perfect for an everyday driver. You get really good termination points, not a lot of slop on the bar. The tolerances on this thing are top notch, especially for the price tag. But one of the other things that are sometimes advertised is the special grip outside of the rings. Now, Hansu told me that this is special for bench pressers who like to take a wide grip. Truth be told, you're still going to have your rings and fingers touching each other, so you're not going to be able to get too wide. So a lot of this is going to go unused. But they actually use a different knurling pattern on the outside knurling past the ring points. It's oddly very similar, in my opinion, to some of the Usaka knurl that I've seen, where it's more of this square-shaped pattern versus the typical diamond pattern that we're used to. But overall, the knurling on this bar is very, very good. I do think the outside knurling is more of a marketing thing, which I don't always see marketed. I don't think it's actually mentioned on the website for the product page that this has special knurling, although they did tell me in some very brief wording in a DM on Instagram that yes, it is different, and you can visually see that it's different. But again, I don't think it adds much to the bar. The key selling point on this, again, is it's 45 pounds, a little bit thicker collars. But again, the overall value of this and any of their bars is just the price point. Like for the tolerances, for the build quality, for the feeling, for the sturdiness and stiffness of the bar. And in some instances, if you want an IPF approved piece of equipment, you're not going to find anything that's this low priced. And this is a great starter bar or a great power bar for anyone interested because it offers a lot in a very attractive price point. I believe it's currently retailing for, on sale, like $239. You guys can always use code BASEMENT, which is going to save you 10%. They have free shipping in almost all circumstances. So what that's going to be is after taxes, it's like $230 delivered, depending on where you are. I'm here on the East Coast, and I believe this ships out of California. But it's a really hard value prop to beat if you want a high quality bar at a very low price point. And I don't think anyone that I've recommended their actual equipment to has ever come back to me and said they've been disappointed in what they've gotten for the price, aside from some of the quality assurance and customer service issues that hopefully are in the past and I have not seen much of in the latest days, at least from the feedback that I get. So that's the Hansu USA 45-pound power bar. Let me know what you think in the description box below. And in the meantime, as always, thanks for watching and stay big.